Hey there and welcome to the Fitting Rooms tutorial video. Today we're going to be talking about why foam rolling is important and why you should be doing it as part of your warm-up or even as just general rehab in any sort of weightlifting routine that you do. Now, as you can see from the video that I'm actually rolling my calf. So the calf muscle itself is actually one of the important muscles that need to be flexible in a squat movement, as an example. The reason foam rolling is actually important is because what we have between our skin and our muscle layer is actually a layer known as the fascia. And the fascia, well, fascia or fascia is basically a layer that tends to get knotted up over time, which is why you often hear the word knots being used when a practitioner suggests that you've got knots in your muscle and they need to be unlocked. Now I'm just going to show you here in this calf range of motion test. So with the calf I just rolled, the knee touches the wall, as you can see, and that's about 2 minutes of foam rolling that's been done there. Now if you look at the other calf that hasn't been rolled, you can see that I'm struggling to get my knee near the wall, and there's actually an inch gap. So you can see already that foam rolling has actually increased the range of motion in my muscle, which is actually essential to high quality movement. Now we're going to be looking at the back and the thoracic spine. Now when people roll their back, this is the incorrect way to do it, just rolling up and down. This doesn't really do anything. Instead, what we need to do is actually extend our spine over the foam roller. So we wrap our arms tight around the shoulders, we wrap them round, and we basically extend the spine straight over. We move the foam roller up the back to do different parts of the spine. This will result in a lot more release work being done and actually be much more beneficial for your back if it's tight or if you're struggling to get any movement in it. Another common muscle group that we actually struggle with here is the glutes and piriformis. So as you can see, you've got the foam roller in the corner of my left butt cheek here. And this is an area that really gets quite tight, quite nasty on some people, so it's quite an unpleasant one to roll. But ultimately, this is one of those key areas that if you've got back pain or you suffer from really tight hips and you can't squat very well, then you're going to want to roll this muscle quite a bit, and it's quite an unpleasant one to get into. Moving on from that, we now have the adductors. So again, another really common tight one, or the inner thigh as it were. So again, it's just what I would use for a warm-up, but again, as you can see, I'm going quite slow here, and any little painful bits I get to, I'm going to work into them nice and gradually, nice and slow, put some pressure on the actual roller and get some feeling like working into those tender spots. The whole idea is to find those pain points here and actually spend a bit of time on them. Once we've done a bit of rolling, we can always become a bit more mobile by finishing up the roll with a stretch of the same muscle group where we've loosened it up, and now we can stretch it into an increased range of motion.